Hello and welcome back to the channel and welcome to another Doctor Who reaction. This is season 14, episode 3. It's called Boom. Boom. Okay, last episode, The Devil's Chord. A fairly enjoyable episode, apart from that musical number at the end. I will point that out again, even though I've listened to the song a couple of times and it's quite catchy, actually. It's not too bad, but I didn't really think it added anything to the episode, so. But it's at the end. You can happily ignore it. I think I can happily ignore it, so it's not really a criticism. Apart from that, I thought it was really good. Really good. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So, yeah, they got a couple of things wrong. Yeah, it was never banned by the Catholic Church or any other church. In fact, it wasn't banned at all. This myth started. I don't know when this myth started. Around the same time as the myth of composers and musicians selling their soul to the devil for, you know, the ultimate song or whatever. So Paganini's day sounds about right, or Liszt time, but either way, it seems to have been perpetuated for quite a while now. Anyway, like I said, I know music, but I don't know music as well as some other people. So if you want to know more about the tritone and the history of the tritone and the history of why people believe that it was banned by the Catholic Church in the 13th and 14th centuries or whatever, then a link down below for Adam Neely's video about the tritone. He's pretty good at the music theory stuff. He goes into great detail while also keeping it basic enough for laymen to understand. So yeah, if you want to know more, check out his video. Yeah, so Jinx Monsoon, yeah, I found their performance pretty good, even though it felt like we wasn't really getting the actor's performance. We was getting an actor playing a drag queen playing maestro. We didn't really see anything else other than the sort of like the drag act performance, which I found, because I think they could probably act like and have a more deeper, reflective and calmer, maybe darker scene, and I think they could probably play it quite well, but we didn't get that. We just got this, as Council of Geeks said, we just got this sort of like up to 11 and staying there performance, which I didn't really, it's not really my thing. But then again, I didn't find their performance to be particularly over the top. It fitted the character. I was a little bit disappointed that the Beatles were really pushed to the sidelines. I think if you're going to do, after 60 odd years, if you're going to do an episode focused on, and I don't think I'm exaggerating here, the most successful and popular band that has ever existed, maybe focus on them and that a little bit more. I did like the idea that Maestro had taken music from people's hearts, from people's souls. I mean, music still existed. She didn't take away music, just made it bland to people, so they just couldn't feel anything for it. Was that what was going on? Actually, now that I come to think of it, I am not entirely sure. But music existed because we heard "I've Got a Dog," which it wasn't a great song. I've again listened to that a few times. I'm quite into it. And if anyone could have got away with that sort of song, it was definitely the Beatles or Floyd. What else didn't I like about the last episode? Nothing. I just thought there was quite a bit of wasted potential there. In sidelining the Beatles. I would have liked to have. Well, the story we got wasn't bad. The story we could have got, in my head, could have been better. I don't know. I trust Russell T. I trust him. He is a brilliant writer, a brilliant showrunner, and I just trust where he's taking this. And he does seem to be taking this series in a more fantastical direction, but that isn't new for Who. We've done it before, okay, in sort of like little tiny bits, episodes here and there. I'm thinking the Patrick Troughton episode, I can't remember what it's called, but where they go to the fairy tale land, the land of fiction. God, what the bloody hell is that called? Anyway, so it's not as if Doctor Who hasn't done fantasy before. We've had vampires, we've had werewolves, we've had loads of vampires, hundreds of vampires. So this isn't particularly new for Who. Keeping the focus on the fantasy element is a bit new for Who. So it's also very sci-fi-ish as well. So, and we've got the toy makers and the now maestros influence still lingering, because they're gone, but there's things that the toy maker said that still haven't come to pass. We've still got the Master has been trapped in the gold tooth, and he mentioned the Eternals and the Guardians that he fought against and won. So is that going to play a part later on? I'm thinking so, and I'm pretty sure the toy maker's influence is still evident because of the fantasy sort of elements to it, the goblins, and really it's just the goblins, isn't it? I don't know why I'm making a big thing of it. It's just the goblins that were the fantastical part of it. All the rest has been fairly standard. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right, let's go. Why is he blindfolded?
From base camp. We're right in the middle of a minefield. There were no mines here yesterday.
They must have migrated again.
I'm just asking you to switch patrols with me. It's not exactly loaves and fishes, is it?
I'm not a bishop. I'm not allowed.
You're a verger.
I
Oh,
have the divinity.
Is this Good Man Goes to War and time Flesh and Stone? The army were clergymen there, weren't they?
I'll just...
Oops.
Not blind. My vision is temporarily impaired.
Eyesight recovery time estimated. 4 weeks.
4 weeks, that's quite long.
Listen to me. I have a child at base camp. Check my records, my next of kin, Splice. She's my daughter and I'm exclusively responsible for her. Please, check my records.
Leave a message at the tone.
Kiss, kiss.
Next of kin. Informed. The Villain Corporation would like to extend its deepest condolences on your upcoming loss. Thoughts and prayers.
Oh God, this is dark.
Did you hear that?
So they're just spearing their own side, their own injured. Who are they fighting? Oopsie. Oh, it's a Moffat. It's a Moffat.
I can't risk looking down. The sensors are on hair triggered.
Why hasn't it set off already when you stepped on it?
Impact
Yeah.
activates the sensors. Now it's confirming if there's a live target on it. One wrong move and boom! I go all food mixer.
Well, he's not exactly staying perfectly still.
Hang on.
Found something.
A weird thing.
It's a heavy, weird thing. Bring it. Here.
Okay, I've got a heavy thing. I think this is an urn or something, but it's kind of gross. What is it?
Never mind.
It's the remains of that soldier we saw.
There isn't a body inside of that. That is a body. That is a dead body. Compressed somehow, like it's been, I don't know, smell. That thing, toss it in your hand and catch it, please.
He needs to know how much it weighs. You can estimate.
Okay, that's about the right way.
About?
Okay, it's exactly 6.732217 kilograms. I was trying not to show off. Throw it.
No.
Okay. I went down to the beach, and there she stood, dark and tall, at the edge of the wood. The sky's too big. I'm scared, I cried. She replied, young man, don't you know there's more to life than the moon and the president's wife?
A Californian nursery rhyme.
Hello, I'm John Francis Vater, deceased. Apologies for your loss.
Hey, John. Am I talking to an AI?
I'm an approximate AI reconstruction of the deceased John Vater. Signature elements of my former personality have been incorporated into
John.
I was spared further suffering by a Villain Guard automated ambulance unit. My recovery was estimated as beyond acceptable parameters for a conflict as budgeted.
Sorry, killed by an ambulance.
Life is cheap. Patients are expensive. The Villain Guard.
And even the AI is propaganda.
Is my daddy there? I heard him.
You gotta get back, child.
Hello? Hello up there?
You okay? You need help?
I'm looking for my daddy.
You're in a war zone. Why are you do?
What's a little kid like you doing out in a nasty war like this?
My dad got special permission to bring me. Where is daddy?
He's gone to see your mum. Sorry, was that too dark?
You have been identified as the next of kin of John Francis Vater. I am an AI reconstruction of your deceased parent. Apologies for your loss. Let's create come to daddy.
Wait! Daddy! No, me! Get off me!
Score, control it. It's going down. Down. It's moving down. Down. Sliding down.
Captain, what's happening?
Yeah, what is happening? I'm not entirely sure what the premise of this episode is. Is what?
Explosive.
Oh dear.
You are in my sights! I can drop you where you stand.
No.
Do you understand? Splice, you okay down there?
I'm here, Monday. I'm trying to find daddy. I saw him. He was a hologram. Where is he?
What are you doing out here? Are you civilians?
Great name, Monday Flynn. You should marry Ruby. Then you'll be Monday Sunday.
What's an Anglican Marine?
I saw that coming a mile off, but
War. Who are you fighting?
The Castarians.
Yeah? The Castarians. Go on, tell me about the Castarians.
she doesn't know anything about them.
We've never seen them.
Excuse me?
They're in the mud. Well, that's what we think. Some of us.
You're fighting a war with think.
Sir, I do not have time for this.
Do you know how ridiculous you sound?
Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to let go of that casket. Just let it fall.
No, if he drops the casket, it'll trigger the landmine. It'll kill him.
He's dead already. So when you stepped on that mine, you triggered a countdown. It's now trying to assess whether it's acquired a viable target. If it can't within a specified time, it fails safe. It blows
up.
You are the explosive.
I'm a Time Lord. Not a human, I'm a Time Lord.
Doctor!
I am a higher dimension life form. I am a complex space-time event.
I'm Anglican.
What does that mean?
Put a quantum chain reaction through me and I will shatter this silly little battlefield of yours into dust. All of it. In a heartbeat. Into dust.
He's done it before. Regeneration energy. Yeah. Now you're worried.
Blow up half of this planet.
Yeah.
Get off me!
Combat detected, that's what she said!
She's good. She is good as a companion, Ruby.
Shoot me. It needs to detect an injury, or it won't triage. Shoot me now.
Just shoot Ruby. Oh my god, this is so dark. I can't.
Ruby Sunday, calendar age 3082. Next of kin. Next of kin.
She hasn't got any. It's snowing again. What the hell is going on there? What happened?
It stopped. How can it do that? How can it just stop?
Vital
Yeah.
signs failing. Mortality
Ah.
estimate 432. Patient non-ordained. Treatment withheld.
Treatment withheld? Oh my god. What is business?
So the mine is cycling down to the end of the countdown. We've got 5 minutes, probably less. Please, what can we do?
Surrender. Lose. Give in.
Even if
Why would that
possible,
work?
Which it isn't. Even if I had the divinity to authorize that, it wouldn't switch off the landmine.
Yes, it would. Mundi thinks that she's fighting the Caesarians. What do you think? You figured it out yet?
They're fighting each
I
other.
don't think Mundi's figured it out.
Figured what out?
So this lot, Ruby, they came here, what, 6 months ago? They set up their defenses and fired their war. They advertised their presence. And do you know what that does? Ruby, that activates the Vilengard algorithm, the acceptable casualty rate algorithm. Keeps you dying, keeps you buying. Huh? Do you get it?
I'm not sure I do. They're not fighting anyone.
Nobody else here. You declared war on an empty planet. There are no Castarians in the mud. They're not in the fog.
There are no Castarians.
Just the algorithm, maintaining an acceptable casualty rate in the face of nothing at all.
How's it going?
There are safeguards, hush.
Why did you even come out here? Why were you looking for me?
I think you know.
Kanto. Do you like me?
Of course I like you. Everyone knows I like you.
Except you.
Defenses. Defenses.
What is it? What is happening?
Kanto, talk to me. Are you alright? Kanto.
You are identified as Mundi Flynn, my designated favourite person.
Oh, it's gone haywire.
Daddy in there.
Why do they look like the war machines? He should have known that.
This landmine will induce fail-safe immolation shortly. If you are not the selected target, please stand clear.
Run.
Nothing's going to happen.
Kiss. Kiss.
That's...
Dad to dad, dust to dust, dust.
Kiss, kiss.
Virus alert.
I think this is what they should have called the episode, Kiss Kiss. And now they've got to stop the war.
Ruby, you okay?
And permanently deactivate everything.
Oh, why are you lying around missing all the good stuff? Just got switched off and very possibly sent to bed without his supper.
I don't. What?
Right, enough of that. Moving on. Come on, Ruby.
2 minutes of the awesome.
Yeah, 2 minutes, no lingering.
That's like an hour for him.
And quite frankly, your lifespan sucks.
Nice. Nice. Okay, in my opinion, that was a very, very good episode. A lot of drama, very serious. I was a little bit worried that the frivolity of the last 3 episodes or so was going to continue until it got a little bit too much. But no, Russell knows how to pace things properly. I knew this, but I was a little bit... We got a serious, dramatic, really, really, really well acted episode. Is this my favourite episode of the last 5 years? I think it could be in the top 5. I think it could be in the top 5, mind you, it's not saying much considering. Maybe in the last 7 years. It's definitely a top 5. It's definitely a very good episode that I will enjoy watching many, many more times in the future. But let's talk about the lighting. Oh. I know it was kind of set at night in a war zone with smoke and everything, but I could barely see what was going on half the time. And I know I've got a light shining right at me, so that kind of puts a bit of a shine on the screen, makes it a little bit hard to see. But this is what my camera looks like without it. A little bit too dark. So I kind of need the light to produce any sort of picture what's worth watching. So did everyone get the message that was being shown in there? War is bad. Capitalism is bad. Capitalism mixed with war is very, very, very bad. That wasn't the message I was talking about. That was pretty obvious and has been done lots and lots of times before. I think this was a dig at those parts of the fandom that shall remain nameless. That they're just fighting smoke and mirrors. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but they're just fighting amongst themselves, fighting smoke and mirrors, fighting nothing at all because they have no argument. That's the way I read it. But also I read it in a little bit of a bigger scenario. You see, humanity, let's face it, humanity has always been a little bit us and them. Yeah, ever since our tribal days, you know, our tribe was the good tribe, the other tribe downriver are the baddies, they're our enemies. And then when tribes merged together to become the first cities, it was, oh, that city state over there, that's our enemy. And we're the goodies. Still the us and them, and then city states formed into nations, nations formed into empires. And then we've reached this stage where even we have multicultural, multinational, continent-spanning alliances like NATO and the African Alliance, African League of Nations or whatever it's called, the Asian Alliance, the British Commonwealth, all these things, and we're floundering, we're fighting each other when everybody knows that the next stage is the global community where we're all one, we're all us. And the them are out there somewhere, the Trisolarians that are going to be here soon. We need to band together to fight whatever's out there. If there's anything out there. I mean, I don't know if there is. But human history has proven that the next stage is a global, multicultural, multi-faith society. And while we're all just fighting amongst ourselves, fighting an enemy that doesn't really exist, we're hampering our own progress. Just think what we could achieve if it was a global community. All the greatest scientists from every nation on earth together, being able to work together for a common goal. My God, we will conquer the universe in few generations. But of course, we won't, because we're too busy fighting smoke and mirrors. That's what I got out of it. Or maybe that was just on my mind while I was watching it. Yeah, absolutely, a very, very, very good episode. Really well acted. A nice restriction on the Doctor not being able to move throughout the entire episode, because while the Doctor's tricks and gadgets are good, sometimes we need to get back to basics. Sometimes we need to take them away from the Doctor for him to really get into a puzzle. And we've had it loads of times before. His Sonic blows up, or the TARDIS decides to disappear for a couple of episodes, or the Doctor stands on a landmine. We haven't had the psychic paper yet either. The psychic paper hasn't come up yet. So, and he didn't have his Sonic in this, did he? I think he went Sonicless, so a lot of restrictions on the Doctor this time. But it was, yeah, and it had that personal element to it as well, with the guy and his daughter, and the little love story that was going on in the background, which completely blindsided me. It was totally unresolved in the end, but yeah, it was dark in more ways than one. But, and I'm so glad that Moffat is back writing for Doctor Who again, because I think Moffat is at his best when he hasn't got the showrunner role on his shoulders. His era was good. I enjoyed his era, but towards the end of it, it was starting to, the strain was starting to show. So I'm glad he's back to just a writing credits now, because I think that's where you're going to get his best work. I wonder if Chibnall's going to contribute to an episode this season, or maybe next. It'd be interesting to see what he can come up with without the stress of the showrunner role on his shoulders. Because even when he was doing the few Doctor Who's he wrote during Russell and Stephen Moffat's era originally, he was working on Torchwood, so he still had a lot of strain on his shoulders. So yeah, it would be interesting to see what's going on in their writing again. We'll see. Okay then, I'm finished rambling. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time for whatever the next episode is. I didn't look. I think it's... No, I don't know, actually. It's got some numbers in it, I think. Or it might be Empire of the Daleks. I know that's one that's coming up soon. It's the only one I know that's coming up, Empire of the Daleks. And I think there's going to be one called something, The Mystery of Ruby Sunday or something, where I suppose we're going to get our answers to who she is, and because they brought that up in this episode as well, her next of kin, and it couldn't find one, so the mystery goes back through her heritage as well as forward. We don't know who her mother is or any relations that side, and we don't know anything coming forward either, suggesting that Ruby May didn't have children. Or at least they didn't make it that far. Who knows? Right, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep well, stay safe, bye bye.